Hello guys and welcome back to Between the Ropes TV. Now we're going to do a little bit of a different style of video for you today because anyone who's watched this channel for any length of time knows that we've always applied a sort of 10 fight rule to when we're looking at how far a prospect can go in professional boxing. Well, controversial figure, but Campbell Hatton, he gets a lot of stick, but he has now reached that 10 fight landmark after the weekend. So I suppose it's only right now, we've said we'll hold judgment. Now is the time to give that judgment. So I suppose looking at it, you're going to have to break his record down a little bit. He is 10-0 and undefeated with 3 stoppages. Now, I suppose I can't really go any further without addressing the Sonny Martinez controversy because that still follows Campbell Hatton round to this day. Back in September 2021, obviously, to most people, myself included, Campbell Hatton did lose that fight. However, he was given the win in very controversial circumstances, and we moved. Now, a lot of people and myself at the time called for, really give him an immediate rematch. However, it didn't happen. We are where we are. But there'd be no point going back there now for me personally, because Martinez has only boxed once since, and that was in December of 2021. So, he's had 15 months out the ring, which as a young prospect really is a lot to overcome. And we're through that COVID spell where everybody was inactive now, and a lot more fighters are getting more activity. So for me, be annoyed about it if you want, but we've got to move on from it. So let's crack on. Within that 10-0 record, he's fought 4 opponents with winning records, including the last 3 back-to-back. And, Joel Ducker, Michael Dufek, there's some experienced people. And I'm not saying these guys are well beaters, they're obviously not. However, there's some experience and there's some questions that Campbell has had to answer as he went through this 10-0 run that he's now on. And for me, he's shown consistent improvement, a lot more patience because, at the start, he was really smothering a lot of his work, whereas now he takes a step back to reset on the corner work. I mean, I loved the corner work this weekend. You could really hear Matthew Hatton sort of telling him, take a step back, patience, calm, and it's working for him for me. If you watched this weekend's fight, as there should be, to his first couple of fights, it's night and day. It really is for him. So hats off to Campbell for sort of addressing these issues, and he's clearly working hard in the gym, which from day one, the whole team, 258, his dad, Ricky, Matthew, was saying that, if he can get what he does in the gym in the professional ring, we'll be all right. And hopefully now we're starting to see flashes of that. I was very impressed with his performance this past weekend. I thought it was a good 6-round clean win. You've also got to look at his physique. Now, it's easy because we've been talking about him a lot the last 2 years because of how active he's been. He's only 22. And I think you can see he's beginning to fill out a little bit, that natural sort of shape and definition. He's coming to him now. You can tell he's training hard. But for me, the key is when that man strength comes, the criticism we've seen is there's not the power in his work. When that man strength comes, I think we're going to start and see those stoppages also come for Campbell, which, on Saturday night, there was a few body shots that if they'd have landed with just a bit more power, I think he'd have got his man out of there. But that's going to take time. So the key is to not rush for me. He's fought 10 times in 2 years pretty much. Keep that same this year. Go for 4 or 5 fights this year. And then we need to see where he is at the end of the year. Because when you look at his corner and team, I think they've been excellent. Everybody said with him turning pro, he's got all the tools to do the job. He's got, 2-weight world champion legend of a dad as his manager. European world title challenger Matthew as his trainer. He's had some other good fighters as well. So he's a reasonably experienced trainer, but definitely on an upwards trend. Signed with 258, who, don't need to say any more than that. They're clearly they're new to the game, but they're clearly doing big things and have got some big fighters on their books. And then he's with Matchroom. Now, everyone's got an opinion on Matchroom at the minute with how the last year or so has gone. However, it's probably still one of, if not the best platforms for a UK fighter to go with. The only thing that I would say is, his corner, his dad and his uncle, they seem to be keeping him grounded and saying, he needs to do better, he needs to improve, but he's doing the right things. I would say I noticed this weekend and last week with Fight Week, Eddie Hearn seemed a little bit less patient and a little bit less enthusiastic about Campbell Hatton. Whether that is He was hoping to have another cash cow by now, 2 years, and then we could start selling out Manchester Arena with him. And it's not gone that way. Or whether he's thinking, because he's talking up the Akib Fiaz fight and talking up Akib Fiaz, so whether he's thinking, well, that'll be a good fight and a good platform for Fiaz, or just the winner to move on to bigger things. But it's very interesting that in terms of Matchroom Eddie Hearn, I did notice, I don't know if anyone else has, so let us know in the comment section what you think, but I did think that excitement has waned a little bit. But, just to wrap this one up, for me, the question is how far can he go? And I'm impressed. As I've just said out a fair few things that I think we've got to give Campbell Hatton credit for. But right now, I think he's English title level. I think that is where he'll get to. However, I do think if we give him the 4 fights this year, the right fights at the right time, and he can stay in the gym and keep that discipline, I believe you reassess. And at the end of the year, he's looking stronger, he's looking fuller, as I've just said. We could be talking about a different Campbell Hatton. I genuinely believe that. We could be talking about someone who may be British, maybe even European. I think he's always going to struggle because he didn't have that amateur background, and not that you need it. But when prospects come through with a limited amateur career, they need that power to carry them a bit. Campbell's not got that yet. As I've said, I think it will come. But whether it will be too late, I don't know. But that's my thoughts on Campbell Hatton, guys. I'd love to know yours, so let us know in the comment section what you guys think. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. It does help us out. And yeah, plenty more content coming, so I'll see you on the next one.